Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. This is the 1 minute chart. And today's stream is not going to have any music in the background because I'm not sure how to fix what was happening yesterday with real-time blocking of my stream due to copyright music that is, it's music that is technically, yes, copyrighted, but allowed. So, I don't know, I need to find some new music that doesn't even hit that, trip the YouTube scanner, I guess. No, shh. Shh, we're working. Okay. So we got that guy. Fair value gap, you could really stretch it down to here if you wanted, or even here. So that's some possibility. That is, what is that? 18, you're talking 20, almost 30 handles. 30 handles, yeah. Before considering a long, even then it'd be small. But we could do Actually, let's back up. On the hourly, get this up a little bigger. We respected this bullish fair value gap here. Had a nice long wick. Man, I wish I'd been. Let me rephrase it. I should have had the balls to get in long, and I'll show you this in a minute. But during this wick, I was watching it happen, and I thought, what are the odds price is gonna push back up so that a candle body closes either inside this order block or this fair value gap. And so now, so we'll go look at that in a second. But this current candle, we're almost 30 minutes into it, so the halfway point. And if we get a candle body close below these two PD arrays, I would start looking for shorts, probably. Yeah, so right down here, I was looking for shorts, thinking this, and I don't have it drawn now, but I had a fair value gap right here, and I was anticipating price to come up into it and then continue down. In hindsight, probably low probability, just based on the overnight range being down 250 handles. So maybe it's more likely that we go sideways today, or this is maybe our bounce. There we go. It's pretty small there, but let's mark the halfway point of overnight range. Make this easier. Okay. There it is. And that's on the hourly. Nope, 15 minutes. So make it a little skinnier. That's good. I can work with it. Okay. So, let's get that out of here. Anyways, I've called these out in stream before where you get the real steep action down, and it ends up on the hourly, ends up being a wick, and so then you can kind of anticipate it closing, returning back up so that it closes above this order block on the hourly, or that fair value gap on the typical target. Usually I look for $55 for trade, per trade. Sometimes that's 1 contract, 3 contracts, 5 contracts. Kind of depends on what price action is looking like. Usually, if I try to hold larger size or hold for bigger take profits, in the long run it doesn't work out for me. So it has just kind of become my style, just to take small base hits. In the Discord, I used to call them turbo scalps, I think was the joke. But yeah, good question. Thanks, man. If I really like price action and I want to stay in a position, I generally target the previous high, but the candle body instead of the wick. So like, as an example, let's get out of here. There's a lot of... Yeah. Yeah, so for example, if I traded short in this fair value gap, my take profit would be the candle body low, previous low, and that's it, and I would just get out of that, and that would be, you know, whatever it is, 28 handles, more or less, 25. So we already tagged the 50 retrace on the overnight range. Look at that wick up into it with the moving average. I think that's the 200 simple moving average. Witchcraft lines. Voodoo vectors. That'd have been a great trade too. Look at that. Give me a break. Discord, Uber asked me how much of the like win rate is improved by targeting candle bodies for highs and lows instead of wicks. And I told him, you know, I don't really have the numbers per se, but it feels like it's about maybe one out of 3 times or 1 out of 4 times price will go. It'll go clear that candle body, high or low, but it won't clear the wick, and it ends up pulling back, sometimes for a very long time. Almost like, you know, whatever, the algorithm or whatever knows that people were targeting that particular high, and so, you know, I don't know, but it was happening enough that I started noticing it and decided that, you know, whatever the extra profit would be between the candle body versus the wick, like here's a good example right here. This wick comes up here, clears this candle body, but doesn't clear this wick. it. I've been sitting here talking to on mute again. What I was saying while I was on mute, one of the things I like about this setup right here is how we get the V shape. We'll just call it the bottom, but who knows. But and then how long it takes price to come back to it and tag it. Kind of feels stretched out and bigger, like if you were to look at it at, let's see, yeah, that's a 5-minute time frame. So what I was saying on mute and didn't know was that I do like a long, if price comes back to this fair value gap, which is right on top of the 930 first presented fair value gap, which is all, it's a nice stack of confluence. So I'm doing 10 micros, which is one mini. And what I would like to see, I would like to see it happen with one of these. And then price keeps going. Like, I don't even want to see some slow nonsense all the way through here. Okay, let's go. Oh, drawing tools. Death by drawing tools. Alright, so here we go. We're going to target the previous high candle body. And that's already 230, so I'm going to move that up to 100. So we've made 100 no matter what. Hang on, sweetie. Good morning. Oh, how cute is that? One of my daughters just came in, and I'm just reminding you to pull my tooth after the Halloween party today. She's got a really loose tooth that she's been avoiding for a few days. But it sounds like she's ready. Well, we didn't get the action we wanted. It still could be viable, but at least we got, what did we get? 95. Oh, yeah, let me show you my P&L, because we, where did we start at? 1029. Okay, so we started here, 569. This is when I was going short at the bottom, like a doofus. After seeing an overnight range of 250 handles, I thought, yeah, let's go short. That not a fine moment, but course corrected and went a little larger, 10 micros, to wipe out that loss. So now we're up 90-ish minus fees, probably. So now if you were still interested in this trade, you have a decision to make. Traditional fair value gap. Let's get this out here for a second. Traditional fair value gap, you'd mark it right here, and so you have a mohawk, what ICT would call a mohawk. It's a slight disrespect that you ignore. With the explanation of price is it's just a small overshoot by the algorithm or whatever. I've been marking my fair value gaps to the extreme of the candle that creates it, the candle body that creates it, if that makes sense. So there's a bullish fair value gap, and instead of stopping it at the wick, I drag it down to the candle body. Because in my time watching charts, I've seen it enough to notice that many times price respects this method, and then your trade, your setup's still valid if you're interested in it. Put our hourly back in there. Order block. Okay. We have 20 seconds left in this candle. I would say it's not going to wick back up, so this guy's probably already mitigated. But notice that first visit, which would have been this candle right here, would have been good for 13 handles. If you got in as it exited the 930 fair value gap, you could have got 13, 12 handles if you want to be safe, but you know, who knows? I feel like those are just coin flips, so just keep on watching. Look at that. The New York AM low from Asia high is over 450 handles. Like the odds of us going any lower today, I think just statistically speaking, having a 500 handle day doesn't happen often. I logged those ranges for, I don't know, 6 months maybe. And there weren't, if I remember right, there weren't a lot of days that were bigger than 300 handles, and very rare to get into the 500. So I don't know. I still like a long here, but like earlier, I would prefer to. I would have preferred this to just be a real quick wick and then bounce out. But now we're doing we're 3 candles in. previous candle body high, $103.50. This could be one where you'd actually target this guy up here because like that's a pretty small pullback, and the journey to get here started here. So if you believe this price came down here to sweep these, and you've done that, you're probably going to come back up here. So it's probably another $80. 76.50. We'll make this guy right here our safety net. Oh, update on the microphone situation. Doesn't look like it's going to arrive today. Most likely tomorrow. So that'll be right in time for me to stop streaming for basically the entire month of November, because my family and I are going on a couple of trips. We just kind of strung them all together. There's like 3 weeks, a little more than 3 weeks, I think. One last big camping trip before we have to winterize the camper. If this gets back to break even, I'm just going to let it close. I especially don't like this wick that's going back up to what's probably a fair value gap on a different time range. And for all I know, sure, we might be gassed out for going lower, but the last move could be this, and then out, sweeping this guy. And that's something I struggle with, is and they say you shouldn't do it, but it's trying to anticipate what the what is it calling tops and bottoms, or reversals. Man, I used to get burned on reversals so much, and that was because of the my bias. What is happening? Too many drawing tools. There we go. And I'd just be so convinced this is it. This is where price is gonna reverse, and I'm gonna snipe the bottom of it, the top of it. And sometimes I'd be big wrong. Like, I'm never drinking again wrong. And other times, yeah, I would just be early. I would be like 1 or 2 pullbacks early. And of course those were during evals, and by then I'd blown the eval or locked it out. And then I'd just watch it go straight to, same old story, we all know this, straight to the take profit, straight to my target. So, here's what has just happened. We have now started a new hourly candle below the hourly bearish fair value gap and what I would call an order block. So we've now finished, basically mitigated these ideas, which on the hourly, if you want to keep talking about mohawks and structure you ignore because of sloppy conditions or overshoot, you could call this an overshoot or mohawk on the hourly, because perspective wise, 17 handles versus, you know, one handle on a 1 minute candle, that would be probably acceptable. So I'm going to go ahead and start building a long position here, if I can get my tools out of my hands. And it looks like just copy that guy. Maybe reload down here. Buys 3. And we may not get filled on this. But it's looking really good. Slow descent back into this bullish fair value gap. If you want to be really cautious, like if I didn't trust price, like I'd have my take profit here. We have 15 seconds left in this candle. A couple of things I'm watching. This block right here that's sitting right on top of the 930 fair value gap. I'm gonna move this up. And if I get stopped out, that's fine. Which I did. So, if you don't think we'll get the pullback all the way to that lower fair value gap, you could start building your position at the 50 retrace. On this leg. And then your safety net is your 3 more contracts down here if it does continue going down. I like this wick right here. Do too. This was really early in the candle though. That was probably 45 seconds, 50 seconds left in the candle when I took that entry. What we have done is we have swept the candle. Did we get it? Ooh, it's hard to tell. Yep. So we swept the candle body high, this previous high. Yeah, we're just gonna wait. Gonna wait. till we get a candle body above this level. Oh, we got some information coming in here from Raging on the Discord. He's on TikTok and YouTube. Check him out. The Corporate Dropout. You'll find him on there posting his trades. He says, guys, it might look like we're going nowhere on NQ or ES, but behind the scenes, they've been ripping YM since the open to try and take out the all-time high. Oh. Look at that. Nice call out, Raging. That's wild. Looking at YM right now. Boy, that was a weak sweep. Yeah, I can't tell if that's done or not. A fair value gap visited right here. Probably real small in there. I don't know. So that's not a warm fuzzy. Seeing that bearish fair value gap up there. Because now what are we doing? We're ping-ponging, kind of. Doesn't seem so random to me. Corporate dropout, that's because you post bangers all day. 40 handles, 50 handles, 100 handles. Grading wicks, doing stuff I don't even understand. Same with HJ. He posts those charts and I'm like, man, I'm not sure I understand what's going on in here. But he's killing it. If that doesn't tell you what's going on, $1.50, -3. And overall, we've been right. Just not willing to hold through red moments. Maybe we'll get one of these. Immediate rebalance. Is that what ICT calls them? Whatevers. Alright, what I'd like to see here now is, I don't want to see it getting too spicy below this 930 fair value gap. Seconds left. I don't want it to come back down here now. I don't want the next candle to retrace more than 50% into this candle. Yeah, this is not, it's not good. I just don't have the patience to hold through this stuff. I'm like agonizing over one micro. Agreed. HJ is the GOAT. I can't even imagine the life he is living down there in Guatemala. Anything I like here, corporate dropout. You know, I'm still looking for higher for a little longer, but I feel like I can't. I feel like every time I find an entry point I like, price comes back, pulls back past it. I mean, you can see that in the executions, but this is kind of, this fair value gap right here is kind of my last hurdle. And then, gosh, you know what it almost looks like? Is that LR? I don't know. Maybe it's too disjunct. I see a candle body above this bearish fair value gap, I would probably start looking for longs between, like here, whatever that would be, 20, 24 handles. Assuming you get your candle body and then your next candle pulls back into it enough to get a decent entry. But that's about it. I mean, this is what have we've crossed the 930 first presented fair value gap. 1, 2, if you want to count that as 2, 3, candle body above, 4. I mean, what does it mean? Yeah. Too many wicks. want to see here is a quick vertical exit out of this fair value gap. And I'm not hanging around here long if price doesn't give it to me. There's 15 seconds left in the candle. I'm not even interested in a second candle in this fair value gap at all. I just want it to go. Yeah, we're not getting that. I'm out. So we'll see. Maybe we get something like this, and then I can get an entry right here, and then we'll clear all this out. In back testing, this is a formation I see a lot. And of course, you only see it when it works out, and you're like, oh, there it is. Seeing it the other times. Seeing it when it doesn't work out is almost impossible, because it ends up, doing this kind of stuff, and then you're just like, oh, it was just going lower. So, whatever that means. Am I being too picky? Maybe I'm being too picky. I just don't like holding while I'm red. Like, what would this be? We got that entry. Had that. I mean, that's 23 handles for what I would consider a traditional stop to target 34 handles. What's plan B? And of course, and just a reminder, for the day, Asia high to current New York low is 458 handles. So that's a pretty big day already. These are my Furu levels, and I can delete whichever ones don't work out. And then say, see? Okay. Gosh, this is gonna take forever. Well, crazy day. Absolutely crazy. We just cleared that out. I like along here based on the fact that we didn't displace through this whole leg. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bullish up close. At least not on the first attempt. So the trade idea is that we're going to come back up here. Right on the 50. But this wick is not looking good. Let's reverse this. See if we get wrecked. And that reversal is based off of these wicks in this fair value gap. And our next target would be down here. I mean, there's nothing else in between. daily fair value gaps. Oh, I don't even think we've cleared this October 27th new day opening gap. If I remember right. Actually, let's just do this. Look real quick. Yeah, so that's still open. Maybe not for today, but maybe tomorrow. Sorry for all the chart movement. Just let it sit for a bit. Look at that candle body. Yep. No thanks. Guys, I think I'm just going to call it for today. I'm just not seeing much work out. So we ended with 131,651. 1 billion trades earlier. 131,569. 569 to 651. So maybe $100. I don't know. That's a shame. I was hoping we'd have a better morning. But there goes the long. Anyways, hope you guys had a better day than I did in the markets, and I'll see you tomorrow.